Hello, everybody. Welcome to our quarter 3 big projects. So we always try to do one big project each quarter that is going to push you in your self-identity, maybe challenge you with, who you are, written poetry. We've done some great stuff in the project. So I love these projects. This one is a new one that I just developed for the students last year. It's something that's really important to me. It is the 2022 quarter 3 memorization project. So this is going to be tough. You will have to memorize a piece of text and then recite it to me in class. Now, why do we do this? The rationale, and here's some information. As more information becomes available via smartphones and other devices, we become progressively more reliant on it in our daily lives. And the internet may be shortening our attention spans and memory, impacting education and learning, of course. Without a manuscript to refresh the memory, the storyteller relied upon his highly developed faculty of being able to repeat a long legend or chant without error after hearing it once. So this is important in Hawaiian culture. So this term was called apo, or catching, or memorizing instantly the exact words of the story. So this is an incredible thing that is really important in Hawaiian culture. There were people that were selected from a young age and groomed to be able to become chanters and be able to recite hundreds and hundreds of lines of text and history and chants. And so they would be encouraged to do that and pushed to do that. And in Hawaii, what makes Hawaii unique is that poetry was composed by all people and from all walks of life, from the royal court chanters down to the common man. So the term, and because Hawaiian was a verbal communication network, many people were able to recite and to chant and to internalize and remember and repeat these super long texts and super long chants. So this is connecting not only to our ability as humans, but also in Hawaiian culture, an important part of being able to recite and memorize long passages of text. So, and I feel that we're losing this in our common age, as so much of us can now just look at a phone. And here it is. So this is a article written. It says why your memory sucks, the science of remembering in the internet age, because we're outsourcing so much of our knowledge onto the internet and being able to pull it up quickly with Siri or Alexa or however you can get it. And then you're not actually internalizing or remembering these long phrases. So I decided to make this project for you guys because I actually try to do this once a year in my life, to memorize something really long that's going to challenge me, that's going to make me practice, it's going to make me have to think about what it is I really want to say. And so the objective is I'll be able to memorize a passage, quote, lyric, song, a writing piece, or a verse from the Bible or any book or oration, and then recite it to me in class on February 10th and 11th. So you will do this in class. So we will have those days where I will call you back on the 10th. If you're on the if you're on the B schedule, you'll recite for me in the back. And then if you're on the D schedule, the Friday, so this is a Thursday, Friday, you will come again to the back and recite your passage. And this was really great. I had some students knock it out of the park last year. And so I'm excited. Now, how do you get a perfect score? You need to present clearly. That gets you 3 points out of 3. You need to mention / write down the history of the text and why you chose it. Okay. So you can't just walk back to me and say, I like this movie, so boom, I memorize it. You need to write it down. Okay, so that is an important part of it, and I'll show you that example down the slides. Okay, memorization lines and include total lines. So you need to include 10 lines, okay, of text. If you only include 1 to 5 lines of text, you get 1 point. If you include 6 to 10 lines, you get 2 points, but you have to do 10 or more to get the full 3 points. And you need to tell me how long it is. So if it's 15 lines long, you need to say, Mr. Clausen, this is a 15-line poem that I've memorized. This is a 15-line chant, or this is my favorite 15 verse from the Bible. You gotta tell me that and then include that in your assignment when you turn in the paper, which I'll tell you about. Okay, transcript of the script printed out. So if you don't turn it in, you're not going to get points. Okay. Well, actually, yeah, you just get the 0. If you do turn it in, you get 3 points. So that one's probably the easiest one. Think about something over the next couple of days. Think about what do you want to memorize? Maybe your favorite passage from a book, or maybe your favorite song that you want to learn, or maybe a quote from a movie that is really empowering or powerful for your life. And then you're going to think about it, and then you're going to put it on a piece of paper and turn it in. And you need to turn it in on time, okay? So you are required to do this by February 10th or 11th, depending on whichever day. The 11th will be the absolute final day of it. So if you're on a B schedule and you're absent on the 10th, you got to come to me on the 11th and submit it. Now, I want to say a few words about the online learners. I know, and this is tough because this is all about memorizing it and doing it live to me. So with the workaround on that is, and I don't like to do this, but if you are an online learner, only for the online learners, you can make a video. Okay, you can make a video recording yourself saying the phrase. Now, I know that this leads you to maybe put it up on your computer or have it off to the side where I won't be able to see that, but try not to do that. Try your very hardest to memorize this, because the whole point of this exercise is to work our muscles in our brain and work out that ability to memorize long text. Okay, so it's not to just read off the paper, which last year we were online, hybrid. I had a lot of students just read off the paper, and you can tell, I can tell based on how you speak, whether you're reading off a paper or whether you've got this internalized. And I can tell by the way you look. If you're looking at all over the screen, I think you're reading. You can tell the difference between someone who's reading and someone who's reciting something they've memorized. So make the video and turn it in to the Google Classroom before the deadline, and you can do it that way. Online learners. Okay, so yeah, this might be a little cheating, but this was the one that I did last year. It's called Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. It's a 41 long line poem. Now, I memorized, I'd say about 70% of it last year, 75%. So about 30 lines that I felt like I really had, but I don't feel like I got it all the way to 100%. So I'm going to do it again this year. I'll do this with you. I'm going to practice this, and then I will recite it on the February 10th and 11th. Hopefully not looking down at my cheat sheet too much, but I'm going to go for this one again because it is so long. Of course, it's above 10 lines, so this would be fine. It's 41 lines. So there it is on the right. This is what it looks like written out in cursive. But on the left is what you need to turn in. Okay, this is a paper that I have written up. You need to write Memorization Project February 10th at the top. Okay, you got to turn it in by that day or the 11th, right? So your day to turn in. You can put your name next. Okay, so the project name, your name, and then why you chose the poem. So why I chose this poem? I chose this poem because I've always wanted to learn it for a long time. I think it's beautiful. It talks about lifelong love. I also saw in the movie Holes where one of the characters this passage memorized, and I always wanted to say it like that. So then you include your rationale. So that's part that your name, title of the project, your rationale, and then the poem. Okay, you got to have the poem itself, or you got to have the lines in there. So when you turn this into me, which is what you're going to do, I will look at it and I will be able to see if you've got this memorized, and I will check off words that you missed or things that you might say differently. I'm not going to take off points, obviously, but I want to see how much of it you have memorized. And then you put the number of lines at the bottom. I think this one is 40 or 41, so definitely above the 10 limit. Okay, here's the poem again. This is me reciting the poem from last year. We don't have to watch that though. Here are some examples from students last year. Now, notice you can write it out. That actually helps. It's called this one on the right here, Don't Quit by Edgar Albert. So you see Dallas, he has his name, he has a memorization project written there at the top, the date, all that good stuff. You can see they did it February 12th of last year, same time as you. And then here you can see the middle one, which maybe was my favorite, Kaloa. It's just an incredible recitation of the St. Crispin's Day speech from Henry V. And he wrote his rationale, history of why he chose it. And then you see on the left side, Amanda Gorman's inspirational poem, The Things We Carry, or I think that's, The Hill We Climb. That's right. So another student did it last year. So these are examples of what it takes to get a perfect score. Then they would come back to the room and recite it for me. Okay. That's about all I have for this. I know it's a lot of information. I'm going to talk about this in class on Monday, January 24th. So I just want to get this information out to you all online, and don't try to do this the night before. It won't work. Start now, maybe look up online how to memorize long text. Think about what actors do. They practice their lines over and over. So this is not a night before, and I will know if you did, and you will not get the grade that you need to do well in this class. So that's all I got to say. I know that was a lot, but good luck on this, and email me if you have any questions. Bye.